So the Splatoon 3 North American Championship 2023 just wrapped up, with the 4 teams that qualified through the 2 Splatsville Showdown qualifiers duking it out to be crowned NA champs. The teams in question being Crush Soda, Destiny Bond, Sayonara, and, of course, Starburst. No, not that Starburst. The major storyline going to the event was if anyone could take down the titan of NA that is Starburst, and for those who didn't watch it, you'll find out through this brief recap of events. But first, I'll just give a quick recap of the Mario Kart Deluxe tournament that took place right before it, in which Cavo won in convincing fashion, thanks to plays like this.
In the next 20 seconds or so. Yep, right here. Here we go. It's on the minimap. It's coming through. It is going to go for Kevo. He has a couple options here. He could go for a mushroom dodge right there. Oh, he did it!
What's the blue shell with a mushroom, baby?
Dodge. Oh, it's Woo! Sorry.
Kevo showing us how it's done.
My controller will be going into the crowd if I was playing and saw him do this. Cavo finished with a final score of 142 points. Although I think Mancor won in the crowd's hearts, is although he finished 9th, he scored a very nice 69 points. Like he said, it's not about winning, but finishing in style. But back to Splatoon 3, the tournament started with the seeding stage, for which Nintendo had the teams play on everyone's favorite competitive mode, Turf War. The format pitted Starburst against Sayonara and Crush Soda against Destiny Bond. The format worked so that the winners of each match in the first round would clinch a top 2 seed for the playoffs, and play against each other to determine the 1 seed, while the losers would be guaranteed a bottom seed, playing to determine who gets 3rd and 4th seed. If that didn't help you understand the format, I'm sure this quick drawing I made will make you even more confused. The first match in the seeding stage was between Crush Soda and Destiny Bond, where after a couple minutes of back and forth, Crush Soda absolutely dominated the end of the match, thanks in large part to Kyo's stamper, according to the commentator, to take the victory and move themselves into the 1-0 match of the mini bracket, while sending Destiny Bond into the 0-1 match. The next match was between Starburst and Sayonara, and was a little controversial to say the least. Sayonara got a couple of early picks and were in complete control for nearly the whole game. Unfortunately for them, the part of the game they weren't in control for was the last 20 seconds, and they lost. This led to more discourse between the casual and competitive community on Turf War's competitive mode. My personal 2 cents is that if Sayonara dominated Starburst like they did at the beginning of this game in any other mode, they would have won, possibly in a KO. In my opinion, it's ridiculous that Nintendo insists on making the best teams playing a game mode where you can be winning for 85% of the match, only for it to all be wiped away by losing one team fight in the last 15%. Whereas in ranked modes, in order to make a comeback like that, you need to win multiple team fights, which is more fair in my opinion, considering you probably lost most of the team fights beforehand to be in a position where you need to come back like that. Nonetheless, what happened, and Starburst clinched a match against Crush Soda for the number 1 seed in the final bracket, in which Starburst took the win to clinch the number 1 seed, with Crush Soda locked into the number 2 seed. After that, the mini bracket concluded with Sayonara and Destiny Bond playing for the reward of not playing Starburst in the semifinal. Destiny Bond had to fight back from multiple large deficits, but did keep it from getting too far out of hand, until Leafy decided to absolutely obliterate Destiny Bond towards the end of the match.
The specials to do it as well. Right now, Leafy in a very precarious position is barely going to be able to get out of that, but that means there's not going to be any protection of Fuzzy. One does opt to run up there. Jared, I thought, may have had an avenue to get rid of that crab, opted to go for Leafy instead. That may be the foothold that was necessary. A direct onto Blitz. Another direct onto the crab. Leafy going absolutely wild right now as the rest of the team tries to run up and support.
Trying to corner the crab, picks up 0, under 30 seconds left.
This helped Sayonara bounce back from the loss to Starburst and take the number 3 seed, facing off against Crush Soda in the semis, while Destiny Bond was stuck with the undesirable task of facing off against Starburst. But before we get to stuff that actually matters, if you scan this QR code right now, you can get a free Splatoon 3 NA Championship themed banner to use in the game. Did you care about that? Because Nintendo sure thought you did. But now on to the semifinals, which are with the top seed Starburst against 4th seed Destiny Bond, in which Starburst beat Destiny Bond so badly that Destiny Bond decided to disband. As much as you say the bond never breaks, I think this means that by definition the bond is broken. After that, Crush Soda and Sayonara battled out in an intense set that went back and forth the whole way. Sayonara took the first game on Brinewater zones, in part thanks to some expert sniping from Q. However, Crush Soda answered right back with a dominant Game 2 win on Inkwall Tower Control. Crush Soda then won a close Game 3 on Undertow Rainmaker with a last minute push to take the lead. Down 2-1, Sayonara needed to fight back, which is exactly what they did, completely dominating Eoto Claim Blitz to force a Game 5 on Manta zones. After taking an early lead, Sayonara saw it dwindle all the way down to 2 points before making 2 clutch defensive holds in order to knock out Crush Soda in a nail-biter 3-2 series, advancing to the finals to face Starburst. But before we move on to the finals, you can scan this QR code to enter a sweepstakes to win a Nintendo Versus themed gaming chair. You getting tired of this yet? Now on to the finals, with Sayonara being the final obstacle and heavy favorite Starburst's way of claiming the crown of the best Splatoon 3 team in North America. After Starburst won a close game 1 on Braimar Zones, Starburst proceeded to beat Sayonara so badly that Sayonara decided to disband. I guess their team name is fitting now? In all seriousness, the disbanding of Sayonara and Destiny Bond was likely due to a lot more factors outside of the game, which would make sense, especially in Sayonara's case, where they had to scramble to find a fourth for this event due to reasons. But overall, I think the lesson that the members of Crush Soda can at least take from this event is that if you don't want your team to disband, simply don't lose to Starburst in the playoff stage of the NA Championship. Moving on from that though, Starburst claimed the title of NA Champs without dropping a single game. The gap between Starburst and the rest of NA seems to be larger than ever, with two of their biggest competitors disbanding. It's really going to reinforce what is, in my opinion, the biggest advantage Starburst has over other teams, which is the amount of time they played on the same roster together. Hopefully the players on the now disbanded rosters can find new teams soon, because their talent is too great for it to be spent as free agents. Anyways, that's it for what happened in the 2023 Splatoon 3 NA Championship. Thanks for watching.